Wake Up Carolina on the iCorridor Talk Network.
Hey, we've got a personality with us that I think is very interesting, and anytime I get a chance to take a jab at Clemson as a Gamecock, I'm going to take advantage of that. Tomi Lahren currently serves as host of Fox Station's Final Thoughts and No Interruption. She's with us this morning. Miss Lahren, good morning. How are you?
I am doing very well, and I am excited to head that direction later this week and have a little fun at Clemson.
So Clemson College Democrats are protesting you, a Fox News personality, for addressing, or you're scheduled to give an address on their campus, and they've called your statements or your previous statements divisive and hateful. Elaborate on what you perceive they think you said and why you don't think they're divisive and hateful.
I think they're just looking at my entire body of work, and I'm a conservative. I'm an outspoken conservative, and we know that the left usually doesn't appreciate that. There's this mentality for a lot on the left, especially college kids, especially young Americans, who believe that those on the left should be able to have a microphone and should be able to express their views and have a right to do so, but then they don't feel that right extends to those on the right or those on the conservative side, so they seek to silence, they seek to censor, to shadow ban, and to really run off anybody who doesn't hold their worldview. And this is what we're seeing as an epidemic on college campuses. But that's why it's up to people like me to make sure that, we never back down. We don't allow ourselves to be canceled. And that's why the speech goes on. And Turning Point USA, who's sponsoring the speech at Clemson, they've done an excellent job fighting back. And all they did with their little shenanigans, these college Democrats, these BLM, these, Antifa-affiliated groups, offshoot groups there, all they did was make our event even bigger. So I have to thank them for that.
Okay, how do we engage younger people? I would see the world in a very similar fashion to you. We do this 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we get lambasted by younger people who say we're divisive and we're hateful and we're not respectful, racist. You know all the terminologies and you know the charges and accusations that head your way when you choose ground on our side. But how do we engage younger people, invite and embrace younger people, convincing them that conservatism is in the best interest of their future and America?
It's just meeting them where they are, and I think that's the biggest thing is for too long conservatives have stayed away from the younger generation. I sit here at 28 years old, and I can tell you that a lot of my peers are conservative, and I can tell you that a lot of younger folks, even than myself, are conservative. They just don't know it yet, but they aren't going to know and understand it if we don't show up and spread the message. And the message that I usually try to spread, because I think that it's one that really resonates, is one of freedom. The conservative movement, the Republican Party, at its core is about maximizing freedom. And it's really hard to argue with that. It's really hard to argue that bigger government and more control is better for the individual. And young people, the one thing that young people hate more than anything is being told what to do. And especially in this year that we've lived now under the big lie of coronavirus lockdowns, shutdowns, and infringements and being told what to do, now is the best time I think we've had in a long time to show young people that the conservative movement is about maximizing freedom. And if you want to maximize your own freedom and your personal liberty, this is the movement for you.
If you really want to freak them out, wear a Gamecock sweatshirt when you do your speech. That'll really get them going. So the speech is billed as Back the Blue. What exactly is your speech entailed of?
We've been in an environment now for the last 5+ years that has been one of a war on cops, been demonizing law enforcement, whether that be our police officers, our ICE agents, our Border Patrol agents, all law enforcement as a whole. They've been demonized and they've been battered and beaten and underappreciated. So this speech at the core of the message really is about showing support for law enforcement and about talking to young people too, because there's a lot of young people that have law enforcement in their family, and they even feel like now that they can't even be proud of that, or they can't be proud of their support for law enforcement, that they feel like they have to be pushed into this BLM, defund the police narrative because so many of their peers find that to be the hip, cool thing to do. So this speech at its core is going to be about rooting on those who support those who protect and defend us. So that's the theme of our speech on Thursday.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you for joining us this morning, and welcome to South Carolina, April the 8th.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys.
Wake Up Carolina on the iCorridor Talk Network.